We are here with Gary. What's going on, Gary? Welcome back to the channel.
Hey, Nick, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Love to be here.
Yeah, happy that you're here. So Gary is a regular contributor on our channel. He has his own YouTube channel, which you guys can check out, FX Big Dog. I wanted to jump on here and ask you just a little bit about what's moving in markets and what you're currently looking at. If we want to pull up your screen, we could take a look at that and see. So what are you looking at today, Gary? You've got Aussie CAD pulled up. What are you thinking?
Well, the big thing here is when I look at the Aussie CAD right here, I'm really looking at is US oil, and I've been watching US oil for some time right here. If you actually pull up a daily time frame, you can see we've got this broader information, and we did come to the top of that range. And so what's happened at the top of the range, we're getting resistance, and market's now going to price of oil is going to start pushing back down. Now, there's been some chatter about whether oil is going to go down to the levels I think it's going to go down to, which is around about $61 a barrel. But at least in the short term right now, we can focus on some short-term trade opportunities that are bearish on US oil. That we know it does affect the price of the Canadian dollar as well. So like Aussie CAD, if we get in correlation in trade setups on Aussie CAD that shows that oil price is going to push lower and then we can see Aussie CAD getting stronger,
right?
Then we can go ahead and trade that.
So is that kind of your bias right now as you're looking Aussie with a more bullish perspective, looking long Aussie CAD? Because I think I had tuned into one of your recent streams and you had been mentioning this. So is this kind of a several week sort of concept for you? What kind of time frame are you looking at when you look at Aussie CAD?
Now, that's a great question, because the thing here is, even though we're looking at maybe, let's say, midterm Aussie CAD rally, it doesn't necessarily mean that I will be trading Aussie CAD longs all the time, because I do have a strategy that I trade resistance and support where we look for 20 pips out of the market, so just a 20 pip grab. And so what we're looking for is if the Aussie CAD is trading, let's say, at a resistance level based on Fibonacci extensions, then what we may do is go ahead and short the Aussie CAD to take some short-term profits. So I do, have different strategies that I trade, and in different sessions, I actually talk about different strategies. So I had a student actually just recently say to me, "Big Dog, I was in the A1 trading. You mentioned this direction, but now in this other session, you mentioned that same currency pair, but in the opposite direction.
Sure.
What's the deal?" And it's different strategies. One's a short-term, one's an intraday. So it is different strategies.
Makes sense. So in terms of, for our audience, we've got a lot of people who are interested on the swing trading side of things. So you're thinking oil could be starting to top out here. So going back to your Aussie CAD idea, are you looking at, so potentially picking up Aussie CAD where we currently sit? Where would you be most interested in terms of potentially looking at entries for Aussie CAD? Or do you already have trades on? And if so, what are they looking like?
Right. So what's real interesting about Aussie CAD is I look at the larger time frame and I break it down based on Elliott wave structure. In fact, I created a course called Wave Count, which is really based taking Elliott wave but put it into my own sort of comfort zones, knowing that okay, it's still Elliott wave structure, but there's some sort of differences in the way I look at the market. And so what I do is I've looked at the Aussie CAD right here on the daily, and we notice that the market's created this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're at the fifth wave down here at the bottom. So what I'm expecting with Aussie CAD is a midterm rally, and it's targeting, I always call it my fourth wave right here, but it's targeting this level at around about 91.26, so 0.9126. Now, the reason why that's important is because I always look at the bigger time frame to identify the turning points in the market based on wave structure. So knowing that the market is going to turn at these levels, giving us a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then create this correction move, I can then go ahead and make a decision how I want to trade it on the lower time frame. So if I'm doing a quick scalp, then I know that I can trade the scalp moves based on intraday moves. And so what I do is I go then, now that I know the bigger picture, and I know the price is eventually going to go up to this level right here, what I'm doing now is I'm going down to the lower time frames, and I'm working my way from the bottom right here, and I'm trying to figure out where we are within the wave structure from the bottom upwards. And that helps me then to determine whether we've hit resistance, and now I can go with a short-term scalp going south, or continue to be buying long towards that 91, what is it, fourth again, 91.26 level.
Very interesting. So you've kind of got a methodology where you're picking out on the higher time frames where you see price most likely going in terms of targets, and then you're kind of trading the back and forth based on your support and resistance. That's actually really cool. So
Yeah.
when you look at Aussie CAD, your longer term target is that fourth wave target, but in the meantime, you may be looking at some intraday, shorter term in and out moves. Do you have any trades currently open? Have you closed out of trades? What are you currently looking at?
Well, we just called a trade this morning, and this is a good call right here. So here is the this is the one of my strategies, which is grabbing 20 pips out of the market. It's called the pip grabber trading strategy. I do a session on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday where we go in and we do some live trades in the live market. I place it. They can follow my trades in my Telegram channel. All these trades are being shown, and we went short on the Aussie CAD. Now, if you look at my larger sort of perspective of the market, we're looking for price to go up bullish. So a lot of traders would say, Big Dog, how can you be going short right now if you're looking long based on this setup? Well,
Sure.
I'm gonna go down to my 1 hour time frame right here. And so if I look at my 1 hour time frame, the reason why we've gone short on the Aussie CAD is because we're now hitting this resistance up here at the top. And so what I'm expecting is price to reject that level and drop back south at least about 20 pips. And
Okay.
the thing here is what's important here is, Nick, and you'll know this very well, is that if price breaks out of that resistance, so if I sell here at the resistance and price breaks through that, what's going to happen is I'm going to re-enter again here, and as it comes back and retests this level, which is the first entry point, I'm going to be able to profit on my second order, close out a break even on my first order, and still take my 20 pip net profit.
Sure.
So what I do is I use a cost averaging trading approach. And it's based on these support and resistance levels, based on obviously wave count, and then at those levels where I go in and sell or buy, I know that if the market breaks those levels, it's going to come back to retest it. So I will end up making still that 20 pip net profit.
Yeah. So, and I actually wanted to ask you about that. So I know that a lot of times cost averaging gets a mixed review, right? Some people love it, some people hate it. And I personally, I have a system in place. I don't show it a lot on my channel, but it's mostly actually done with a robot that I developed several years back and have been using. It's mostly a cost averaging tool that I use on certain markets, mostly on like the S&P 500, things like that. But anyways, yeah, I love cost averaging. The biggest thing is as long as you are disciplined with it and you're keeping your position sizing small, it can totally work. And again, it's not for everybody, but it definitely has its potentials. And so I see what you're saying there. So you have that potential to kind of, you're playing around this major zone. Even if it breaks out, you're looking to potentially trade the fade back and the retest, which I actually think is kind of a cool concept, especially if you have an overall bias. For example, we had started with oil talking about that CAD bias. That could put pressure on it and actually even serve to help you out if things pop and then kind of retest. So I like that idea a lot.
Right.
That's awesome.
And everything is built out in waves. The market's going to wave whether you pick the right direction or you go in the wrong direction. All you have to do is be patient enough to wait for the wave structure to complete on the way up. So let's say, for instance, excuse me, if I have to put it in this way, in this perspective, if we are selling currently right now, like in the Aussie CAD, if I'm selling Aussie CAD, but I still believe Aussie CAD is going to go bullish, and I've sold that resistance, and resistance breaks, then I know that the swings going up is creating a wave going up, and so there's a target where we're going to see resistance based on Elliott wave structure.
Right.
And so all I've got to do is just be patient for it to get to that level, and then sell at the level where I'm anticipating the turning point to be again, and allow the market to come back to where the original price was or original entry price was, and then get out of that level. So as long as I'm disciplined in, just like you said, managing my risk correctly, keeping my equity or my risk low, so I can have buying power or selling power when the market gets to these levels, I can re-enter and make money on the trades that I got wrong on the first entry point. And that helps us to be able to continue to trade these setups with the confidence, knowing that, hey, if I'm wrong, I have a backup plan, cost averaging, keeping my risk low, I'll be able to make my profits and get out of that trade. And the exciting part of this is that we've been doing this for years, and I've even got a track record that shows that grabbing 20 pips out of the market can make you anything between, well, I don't want to say results, but it's done for us. We've closed out with 153% in last year in our trading account by just looking for 20 pips out of the market.
Yeah,
that's it.
Which is incredible. And I was going to say, you're one of the very few people I know, a fellow MyFX book shower. It's rare, and it's cool to see that you do share it, which is awesome. And results don't lie. You've clearly had some great results with trading this sort of strategy. And before we wrap up, I do want to just remind people, if you guys are watching and you would like to hear more from FX Big Dog, aka Gary, check him out on his YouTube channel. Again, FX Big Dog, definitely worth a subscribe. And then he's also got Telegram, and you've got some other places, right? Is there any place else that I'm missing?
Yeah, Traders Network Club. That's actually where we do all our our tools we sell. You can subscribe to our tools that we use. Everything in my trading session is on a website. Your trading tools, trade copier, all that good stuff is in the website. They can check it out there too.
Awesome. Well, Gary, thank you very much for coming on, and thanks for sharing your thoughts on Aussie CAD today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
If you're looking for a broker upgrade, we have an amazing offer just for you. Thanks to our partnered broker Axie, you may qualify for a 30% deposit bonus when you sign up using our link in the description below. For example, for qualified clients, a deposit of $1,000 could receive a bonus of $300 in trading credits. They've partnered with us to provide traders with the tightest spreads, lowest trading costs, and a huge range of tradable assets. Markets like forex, commodities, and indices are all available for clients trading with Axie. Remember to use the link in the description to potentially qualify for the deposit bonus offered and to support what we do here at A1 Trading. Please note, this offer is only available to traders outside of the US. For US-based traders, consider checking out some of the other brokers listed in the description below.